And welcome to another live stream watch-along reaction. Tonight we're watching and reacting to Vancouver Whitecaps FC versus Vancouver FC, the 2025 Telus Canadian Championship Final. Vancouver Whitecaps FC playing Vancouver, their little, I wouldn't say brothers, but their cousin from their third cousin that lives in the city, I guess. A local derby, the first ever time these two teams, I think this is the first ever time these two teams have played each other. First ever time being in the Canadian Championship. I think it's because TSS Rovers team form. Full head-to-head record. I don't think they played each other before. Yeah, I know. I told you they might rotate. I saw the score. I should have done that game. I should have. That was wild to see that score. I won't even lie. But Vancouver, Weymouth Wales is beating Cavalier. What the hell is going on? What Chaos Emeralds have been unleashed today? 4 MLB Game 3s. When it comes to the wild card round tomorrow as we speak. Oh, the Dodgers just scored. Oh. Yeah, it ain't over yet. We're on the precipice of 4 wild card Game 3s tomorrow. We have Savao losing to Defense Force. Weymouth just scored on Cavalier. Plaza Amador's beating Real España. That's for real. Nashville's beating Austin. I don't think that's surprising. If the freaking Galaxy win today, that's going to be nuts. Holy Lord. If Vancouver FC keeps this shit tied for anything longer, an Open Cup final. Nashville are up 2-1. I saw that. How we doing, Dillon? I saw the score line. I checked it right before I came on. In theory, y'all still should have lost. Or at least drawn. You're winning. That's good for y'all because guess what? That means you're advancing. And you have the goal differential to be above Weymouth Wales, which now, because they scored, well, lucky for you, you're winning. Yep. By the way, speaking of, Mount Pleasant and O&M are both advancing out of Group A because Robin Hood beat Mocha, even though O&M lost to Mount Pleasant. So Mount Pleasant will be playing Defense Force. Kevin Molino scored. Of course he did. Sabao be playing O&M the second round, or the knockout phase. Not surprising in the slightest, really. With that being said, now we have to talk about the starting 11s of this game. Now we have to. For the Vancouver Whitecaps, Vancouver Whitecaps FC. Oh, yeah, by the way, need to make sure that's working. Almost forgot. Funny, I know. All right, good. All right. Now, for the Vancouver Whitecaps FC, in goal we have Isaac Bemer. The back four, Tate Johnson, Matthias Laborda, Bilal Halbouni, Edier Ocampo. The back four. Midfield 2, we have Andres Cubas, Sebastian Berhalter. The midfield 3, attacking midfield 3, Ali Ahmed, Thomas Muller, and Emmanuel Sabi. And up top, striker is Ryan Elumi from Whitecaps 2, being the striker of this game because Brian White is hurt. And I guess they're not starting Ryan Gould either. Very weak bench for the Whitecaps, but a very strong starting 11. Very strong starting 11. Against Vancouver FC, who are lucky to be in this final. The worst team in the CPL, but somehow found their way to the final. Starting 11 for Vancouver FC. In goal, Callum Irving. The back four of Kunle Dadaluk. Mateo Campagna. Yep, Mateo Campagna. We have O'Connor. Aiden O'Connor. We have Paris G., formerly of St. Louis FC, back when they were in the USL. Vasco Fry. We have Michel. We have Elaj Ba. We have Mesquita. We have Taryn Campbell. And up top, we have Hugo Mbong, Ralph Prizo's brother. With that being said, oh, wait, yeah. That would be funny if, Ralph Prizo came on. Yeah, there you go. With that being said, those are your starting 11s. Interesting, but he's not even on the squad, though. Defense Force are going to the Champs Cup. Hey, they still got to win at least one round. They still have to win the semifinal or the third place to say that. They're not in just yet, but they got a 75% chance, which is better than anything, really. Just win one round. You lose the semifinal, you play the third place match. The winner of that goes to CONCACAF. You make the final, you're in. 75% chance is a damn good chance. That's a really good chance. Probably. In theory, it should, but today's been a chaotic day. So, again, it's been a very chaotic day. Holy shite. Good on them, though. Austin corner, 90th minute, cleared. I'm not surprised. Mora scored twice, Mexico under 20. I'm not surprised about that either. Useless signing for Tony Khan. That's like the 20th time. Let's see. Scorelines. All right. The Campeones Cup final starts in 30 minutes. We'll keep an eye on that scoreline. Real España just scored. Wait, whoa. They're winning on away goals. Real España are winning on away goals against CD Plaza Amador. Holy shit. They're winning on away goals. 2-2 on aggregate, winning on away goals in stoppage time. They're about to knock out Plaza Amador. Starting 11, Bemer, Johnson, Laborda, Halbuni, Ocampo, Kubas. We'll see if they show it again. Vancouver Whitecaps have won 4 straight Canadian championships. They won on penalties against Toronto in 2022. 2023, they beat Montreal 2-0. They beat Toronto on penalties in 2024. And then this year, they're going for their 4th. All in Vancouver. And they're also Vancouver, BC place today. Well, there you go. U.S. Open Cup. See if that's finished. There it is. 2-1 Nashville. That must be finishing soon. So, and if we're looking at the CONCACAF Caribbean Cup, Defense Force wins 2-0. Weymouth Wales wins 2-1. Defense Force finishes second. Sabao FC finishes first. And they move on. Your 4 semifinalists. Mount Pleasant, O&M FC, Sabao FC, Defense Force. 1 Jamaican team, 2 Dominican teams, and 1 Trinidadian team. 3 out of those 4 will be going to the CONCACAF Champions Cup next year. Speaking, Real España are minutes away from moving on to the CONCACAF Champions Cup and sending Plaza Amador to the play-in round. Shockingly enough, of the Central American Cup. And also setting themselves to the semifinals. But, of the tournament. But, seconds away. Nashville are minutes away from winning the Open Cup. Teams will walk out soon in Vancouver. Of course, we are 30 minutes away from the kickoff of the Campeones Cup. Not like that matters that much compared to all the rest of these. And it's still going. Real España look to be winning on away goals. Wow. I'm honestly shocked. I mean, I'm happy for Hans especially, but I'm kind of shocked. I had Plaza Amador winning. The Voyagers Cup being carried out by the Mounties. I love that. I love that. I love that. The team's walking out with the Voyagers Cup being led out by the Mounties carrying the cup. I love it. It's also the CFL does the same thing with the Grey Cup. Yes, they do. At least the Mounties bring it down to the field. Yeah, they do the same thing. Yeah. I love that. I love it. I love it. For both. I love it for both. It's amazing. It's a beautiful thing. I think the CPL Championship does the same, but I'm not as clear. I think they have, though. Still, 90+ now between Real España and Plaza Amador. And Plaza Amador needs to score a goal. Where's the match on TV? Well, Can Champs on FS2. I don't know where that's being shown in the Caribbean. Third-party site, you could look it up there. And Real España advances. They have won. Real España have won on away goals. Hold on. Might as well write it out. They have been walking out. Might as well write it out. Where's my... There it is. Okay. That is 1-2. Again, just like last night, a advancement on away goals in the Central American Cup. Yep. I'm happy for Hans. Other than that, TSN in Canada, yes, and One Soccer. But if it's on TSN, why would you want to watch it on One Soccer? Let's be real. Let's see. Open Cup is red card to Sam Surridge. Oof. Interesting. There you go. And that means I was wrong there. So the semifinal would be wrong too. Okay. Teams are walking out. We're getting ready to go. All right, there we go. Make sure it's the right order on the card at least. Boom. All right. I would hope next year, full-time, Nashville wins the Open Cup. Nashville wins the Open Cup. 2-1. And tie game between the Reds and Dodgers. Yeah, it was always the long shot to go and get a game 3. What were we looking for after that? Ah, yes. There we go. Campeones Cup. Yep. There we go. Teams are ready to go. We're about to kick off. When it comes to the Can Champ final, 9-10. That's a little bit. They're taking their sweet ass time. I know that much. Vancouver FC wearing their black, the Whitecaps wearing white with a hoop. At least they look very different. The names are very similar. They look very different, though. Good news. Good news. And Vancouver FC will be the ones to kick off. Whitecaps are going to probably kick their ass, but let's see how close this is held for how long. Dude, if Forge got 4-0'd by Vancouver at BC Place, this ain't going to be pretty. But Vancouver FC are the first CPL side to make it to a Canadian Championship final in a full season. Of course, Forge made the final in 2020, but that was not a full season tournament. That was a hacked up tournament trying to give out the trophy before the start of 2021, and they couldn't do that. Took them damn 2 years to give out that trophy. Oh, almost forgot. There we go. Didn't even notice. We're off. 0-0. We'll be back tomorrow for 2 streams, both Central American Cup, Xelajú versus Sporting San Miguelito tomorrow, and Olimpia Cartagenas. Yeah, I know. I saw the Yankees win. Game 3, winner goes to Toronto. Winner take all tomorrow. Winner take all, winner goes to Toronto on Saturday. And we'll be live for it. If it's the Yankees, it will be a concurrent double with the TFC game. If it's the Red Sox, it'll be 2 different streams and 2 different reviews in one day. Because it seems like the Red Sox-Blue Jays game will start earlier than the Yankees-Blue Jays game. Seems like it. Seems like it's been confirmed, but I don't know. For a 3:08 first pitch on Sunday, though. No Europa League, damn it. Dude, if I won doing the Champions League, what makes you think? As I said, I did the Conference League for a reason last year. No. No. Playing forward, that's out for a goal kick. No way. No. Chelsea, they might keep it close and then lose on a last-second goal. As is usual with Liverpool. Honestly, it feels like every Liverpool game this year has been decided on a last-minute goal, whether for or against. Seriously. Maybe Chelsea keeps it 0-0 and they get a last-second goal. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. But playing forward, do you think this team should have both teams score? No. Vancouver FC, the CPL side, is the worst team in the CPL. Vancouver Whitecaps are one of the best teams in MLS and probably could win MLS Cup. It still could probably win the Shield if things fall their way, right? But they're right there, like top third of the league. Yeah, no, this should. Now, I could be wrong. But this should be an ass-kicking by the Whitecaps. This should be 4-0 at least. If it's not, you know what? Even if you lose, if Vancouver FC loses, but they only lose by like 2, good job. You still lost like people expected you to, but at least, well, they expect you to lose the trophy and lose big. At least you just lost the trophy. Playing forward. Good. That was a horrible pass. Especially, look at Vancouver's starting 11. Look at Vancouver's starting 11. I'm looking at the wrong game. Look at their starting 11. The only guy that isn't their normal starter or normal rotation piece is Alumi. Brian White has nothing to do with this game. Emmanuel Sabi playing forward. Alumi plays through to Ahmed. Goal! 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 Ali Ahmed scores for the Whitecaps with a slider. 1-0. And that's it. Turn it off now, you're done. It's over. Turn it off now, you're done. It's over. Done. Ali Ahmed scores. That's it. That's it. That's gotta suck. Sliding down, foot into the ball, puts it past the goalie, Irving. Lord. Ali Ahmed cuts past the defender, slides, and just, well, he was sliding on the ground, but he kicked it first and then slid. But either way, just spin sackles Luke. And yeah, that was, he said, I'm doing this myself. Far post and in, 1-0. Ali Ahmed 5 minutes in, and that's going to be the game. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's not the start Vancouver FC wanted, but that's the one I expected to see. Dude, they couldn't even try for 45 minutes? Shit. Sad. 1-0 for the Whitecaps. They're looking to go back-to-back 4-peat. And this was the easiest game of them all. And they played 2 shit Toronto FC teams in between. Well, no, that Montreal team, not as bad as the recent ones. That's saying a lot, really. That's saying a lot. That if Vancouver FC is the easiest team Vancouver's played this whole 4-peat run, and they played 2 shit Toronto teams, that says a lot about Vancouver FC. I mean, I shouldn't be punching down, but, I shouldn't be punching down, but it's true. At least Toronto FC went to penalties twice as a shit team against the Vancouver Whitecaps. Now, you could also say, but they were growing still. I mean, their coach was still Vonnie Sartini. They were not what they are now. True, but I still think these Toronto teams could have held out for this year's Toronto team, or those Toronto teams could have held out for at least more than 10 minutes. I don't know. How we doing, Henry? I know, I'm just saying. I really should be punching down. That's why I said that. But either way. 1-0. Yeah, I guess the chaos got used up in other ways today. But hey, I mean, look at, always going to be a tough job. Look at Defense Force. They beat Sabal. So you know what? I mean, the Baconator's not bad. Like, out of, like, the Big Mac type of burgers, that level, yeah, Baconator's the best. And the Dodgers lead the Reds. 3-2 Dodgers, by the way, if you wanted to know. Reds got out to an early 2-0 lead, and the Dodgers lead the game. So it seems to me that, what was I going to say? Yeah, it seems to me that there will only be 3 game 3s tomorrow because I don't see the Reds beating the Dodgers. A Mexico 2-2 draw with Spain. Italy drew Cuba 2-2. Wait, what? Italy drew Cuba 2-2 at the U20 World Cup. Cuba playing for Vancouver. Ali Ahmed goes down the box. Penalty. Penalty. Put Vancouver Whitecaps. The Whitecaps get a penalty. Luke gives up the penalty as well. Dear God, he's blowing it. That's sad, though. That's really sad, though. I mean, he's a good player. Luke's a good player. And he's caused both goals. If this goes in, he's caused both goals. Or been the guy that Ali Ahmed basically is pocketed and turned into a damn spin cycle. I hate it for him. I really do. Honestly, Cubs. I feel like the Cubs are going to get game 3. Thomas Muller to take the penalty against Callum Irving. Well, blame Toronto for being shit. Call the Pirate. You want that to stop, call the Pirate, by the way. 10 minutes in. Thomas Muller to take the penalty. Muller takes a shot, goal! Sends the keeper the wrong way. Thomas Muller scores to make it 2-0. I mean, come on, it's Thomas Muller against a CPL team. What do you think was going to happen? (2-0). Thomas Muller scores the penalty. But yeah, if you want that to stop happening, at least the Canadian Championship part, call the Pirate. Toronto can't stop Forge from winning the CPL, but we could stop Vancouver from winning the Can Champ if you call the Pirate. So that's why I care about anyway. 2-0. 10 minutes in. Penalty goal. Holy shit, 2 goals in 10 minutes. 1 every 5 minutes. It's going to get ugly. I can't believe Italy might be damn cooked. I'm not even kidding. They drew to Cuba at the U20 level. Italy might be cooked. Italy might be cooked. If there was anything that made me realize they're cooked, it's that. 11th minute. $7-0 scoreline. Probably more. Corner for Whitecaps. Italy got a red card too. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense then, but still. Cross in. Header. Laborda. Cleared away by Vancouver FC. Chipped over. Headed away. Free kick the other way. Okay, the red card makes a little bit more sense. Fair enough. 12th minute, 2-0. Makes a little bit more sense. But still, though, Cuba. Italy really wants to piss me off now, don't they? Jesus. Whitecaps are winning 2-0. How we doing? How we doing? Real España advanced to the next round of the Champions, or the Central American Cup. They've advanced to the Champions Cup. They beat Plaza Amador. 12 points. Proceeds to get knocked out by away goals. I love CONCACAF. It's weird. I love it. 12 minutes in. Turns out, I guess because they had a man, they were up a man. Italy might just suck, though, on all levels. We might be cooked. Italy might be cooked. Italy might be cooked. Playing forward, Vancouver Whitecaps. Ocampo crosses in and loses the ball. Emmanuel Sabi, man, you should have scored that. Now you defend, Vancouver. Now you defend. Okay. Liquid Vancouver now starts defending. Now you start defending. I mean, Sabi really should have taken the damn shot, but now you start defending. Honestly, I just want Vancouver to run up the score now. You might as well. Whitecaps. I just want Whitecaps to run up the score now. Might as well. You should have scored that. Dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? Now you're defending. You're down 2-0, and you ain't going to score 2 goals in 80 minutes, and now you're defending. Could have done that earlier. You know, could have done that earlier. That would have been smart. Playing forward. Muller plays it through. Shot. Goal. Oh, no, it went wide. Good touch by Irving. I thought that was going to go in. Sabi. So he takes a shot there, but not when he was dead on. It was saved by Irving. It would have went in if he didn't get a hand to it. Fair enough. Corner. Corner for the Whitecaps. That was actually a very good save by Irving. Yes. Yes, it was. Man, I thought that was going to go in, but Irving got there the last second. Yeah. Yeah. Corner for the Whitecaps, 15 minutes in. Punched away. Brought down. Ali Ahmed, who got the first goal and drew the penalty. Sebastian Berhalter, ball crossed in. Header, drops down. Sabi, shot off the post. Ooh. He's really trying to get one now. Sebastian Berhalter pushing forward. Sebastian Berhalter has options with a shot off the post. Save off the back of the post, and Irving, it just stomps off his back. It stomps off his back. Callum Irving. Wow. Man, this looks ugly. I won't even front. Off the post and just hits Irving's back and it doesn't bounce back into the goal. That would have been worse. You know what? I'm glad for Callum. I really am. I'm glad for Callum because guess what? How bad would that have been? How bad would that have been if that hit his back off the post and went in? That would have just been horrible. I'm glad that basically stopped short. I wouldn't say stopped short, but as soon as it hit his back, it just stopped. I'm glad it didn't bounce off of him and in. That would have been bad. I would have hated to see that. Especially because, again, you look at a guy like Callum Irving, very good goalie, CPL history-wise. Very solid goalie, strong player. You don't want to see that happen to him at one of the biggest games he's ever played, especially considering he was a York player. Pacific as well. He played for York too, didn't he? I think he played for York, Pacific, and Vancouver FC. Wait, was he in the final? Okay, wait. I think he went from Pacific to York to Vancouver. Actually, no, he's played some other big games, so it's not like it's the worst. Hold on, I got to make sure I'm right here. Pacific. Oh, no, he went from Pacific to Vancouver. Who was I thinking of? Oh, the one who plays for Ottawa. That's who I was thinking of. They both have names that start with I. Save. There we go. My bad. I was thinking of Nathan from Ottawa who played for York. My bad. I mean, they both have last names that start with I. You know. My bad. That was my bad. That one's on me. I get them confused a lot. I wouldn't say a lot, but I have a couple of times. Just sucks doing that on camera. But Pacific FC, he won the Island Games, or I should say he won that CPL title with them and went to CONCACAF League. So he's had other big games that he's done well in. But you don't want that ball to go in off your back. You don't. Playing the best team he's probably ever played, you don't want to do that. Playing forward, Ali Ahmed with another chance and crosses it instead of takes the shot. Do Vancouver Whitecaps feel bad for them? I feel like they're not trying as hard. Nashville won the Open Cup. We said that. Two to 1 for Nashville. Free kick for Vancouver. Portland, same thing happened versus Vancouver. Adam Larson, Kawarsi, leg one. Mane shot the ball, hit off the post, hit off his head, went out the other side for a corner, I think it was. Yeah. I think there's been shots like that before that have went in, though. Funny how it's happened twice. FIFA goal. Whitecaps free kick. Rion Moore, yep. When he was at Pacific, yeah, I remember. Solid, I thought. I thought he was solid at Pacific, really. I thought he was solid there. Here's the free kick for Vancouver. Takes a shot, Berhalter. Yeah, they're just playing with their food now. Berhalter over the ball. They do an intricate free kick routine, and yeah. Boom. Ahmed to Muller to Berhalter. Yeah, they're just playing with their food now. They don't care. They're done. You know what? If I was Vancouver Whitecaps, I'd just freaking run up the score. Like, dude. I mean, I understand it. Maybe you're just happy winning the trophy and saving your energy for games that actually matter, that you probably need more out of. But, dude, run up the score. And call me an asshole if you want. I don't care. But if my team is good enough to beat your team 3-4, 5-0, and you ain't defending well, and we're playing somebody that we should kick their ass, well, I don't care if we're good or not, really. I don't care if we're playing a good team that we're just kicking their ass, or we're playing a team like Vancouver FC who aren't good enough. We score goals. Because guess what? When you let up, that's when shit bites you in the ass. When you let up on a shit team, that's when it bites you in the ass. You can't let up. You can't let up. You can't. If you're winning 2-3, 4-0 and they still are defending like shit, you go put in 5, 6, or 7. I don't care if you want to call it run up the score. I don't care if you want to call it, hey, they weren't good enough. Whatever you want to call it. Whatever you want to call it. If you want to call somebody an asshole for that mentality, I don't care. Get good. Get good. Get good. Get good. That's what I got to say. Get good. If you don't want to lose 7-0, don't lose 7-0. I ain't going to call off the dogs. I ain't calling off the dogs. I ain't calling off the dogs. No. Now, when my team has the mentality of playing the song Renegade at halftime, Renegade by Styx, of course. Not that bullshit TikTok stuff. I mean Renegade by Styx. That just shows you the mentality. Don't come to our house if you think. Don't come to our stadium if you think you're going to win. If you think you're going to win, you ain't in the right place. If you come to our stadium, you're getting your ass kicked, sent home, and say, hey, good job, good effort. You couldn't get a trophy or 3 points. Get the hell out of here. And when we play you at your stadium, we'll still kick your ass, but I guess say good job, good effort, and then take 3 points or a trophy back home. Either way. Either way. Yeah, I agree with that. Which sucks for them, considering they're going back to CONCACAF Champions Cup, and they were only 5 goals away from winning the whole thing. Hi-oh! But selfishly, I'm glad. Well, for Canada Soccer, I'm glad he won't be a Whitecap next season. And selfishly, I'm glad as well. Because that means that's one less star they have on their team to actually go back and get to the final again. And this time, either host the final or realize to not get the shits. You don't make that mistake twice. Unless you're a different team the next year. But the same team ain't making that mistake twice. They ain't making that mistake twice. And they'll probably actually win. Still hard to win in Mexico, though, even if you don't get the shits. Yeah, I know, but the Whitecaps are... I hate to admit it. I'm afraid of the Whitecaps. Like, I know they're not a treble-winning team like Toronto FC in 2017, but the Whitecaps, and I'm not saying they're better than that team. That may be some bias. But the Whitecaps right now under Jesper Sorensen, the way they play, is just and Axel's finally figured out how to get them to win. I'm afraid of the Whitecaps. Like, I want Toronto to at least be the first Canadian team to win the CCL. Canadian MLS team, but if Forge could bullshit their way to doing it, I wouldn't totally complain. But because we can't be the first MLS team in the modern era, we can't be the first MLS team in general, but we could still be the first Canadian MLS team and the first Canadian team to win the Champions Cup. Vancouver scares me. Off the post by Mueller. A little bit of a tap off the post. Vancouver scares me, man. Like, they're for real. Like, they're for real. Like, Vancouver is just, they're so good. Like, that's the sad thing. They're so good. The redheaded stepchild should not be above Toronto and Montreal. It should not be the case. Like, that's like if Southern Miss was the best college football team in the state of Mississippi. Like, it's just not the way it's supposed to be. And the redheaded stepchild of Canadian soccer is the best team in the whole country. But far and away. How bad is Toronto fucked up to let that happen? Well, also, how good has Vancouver done building their team, but also how bad is Toronto fucked up to let that happen? And Montreal. I mean, we have higher expectations of ourselves. Like, I mean, seriously, I enjoy, actually, it's funny. I enjoy watching them play. Weirdly enough, I enjoy watching them play. It's a very good system. They're a very good team. It's very entertaining. It really is. And I mean, I'm happy for the fan base that they have. The redheaded stepchildren finally get their day in the sun. I'm surprised they're not sunburnt by now. I'm surprised they're not sunburnt by now. They've been in the sun so long because Toronto's been ass for so long, but okay. With that being said, playing forward, Illumi loses the ball. Man, if Brian White was here, this would be worse. I mean, they're very good. That's the thing. They're very good. It's not like they're lucky. They maybe started off lucky, but that might have been part of it being a 4-year can champ run, especially on that end of things. They might have started off lucky, but they're actually really good. Turns out, Vonnie Sartini was holding this team back. Turns out, from what I need out of this Vancouver team, Vancouver Whitecaps, they should have never fired him. But then again, I wasn't the one saying fire him. Either way, Jesper Sorensen is a damn good coach. I never heard the dude till he came to Vancouver. And this dude, for some reason, his weaponized not knowing how CONCACAF works has actually worked for once. It's like, don't be afraid of the bullshit, because I don't even know what the bullshit is. It just lifts a weight off their shoulders. I don't get it. Amazing. Like, he's the same guy who left Bayern. Simple. He's made Vancouver better. I mean, they were red hot at the start of the year. They swooned a little bit. He comes in and they're back to being red hot. Like, it wouldn't shock me at all to see Vancouver win the MLS Cup. It wouldn't shock me at all. And frankly, even though I think they're redheaded stepchildren of Canadian soccer, they deserve it. It's on Toronto and Montreal for letting the redheaded stepchild step up. That's what it's on. One, Spicer don't play for us anymore. Second of all, I have a jersey collection. Third of all, I have no problem wearing the redheaded stepchild's jersey because I don't hate them. I just think they're a redheaded stepchild. I would never wear a Montreal jersey, but I never said I wouldn't wear a Vancouver jersey, just like I'll never wear an Ole Miss jersey. Never said I wouldn't wear a Southern Miss jersey. Not that I have one. I don't have one. But if I had a Southern Miss jersey, I wouldn't mind having one. I wouldn't mind wearing one if they were playing a bowl game and rooting for them, or a shirt. The only team I'll never wear a jersey for is Montreal. Some call it a jersey collection. Really, do you want me to wear John Cena shirts to fit the colors of teams? It's better to have a jersey. Come on now. Like, I mean, since I'm doing this and covering a lot of teams, it's better if I actually have a jersey that fits the team. Like, I need a Trinidad jersey. That'd be good to wear. I need a Jamaican jersey. That would be good to wear because I'll do a lot of those games. A Morocco jersey wouldn't be bad either. There's some called, if I'm on camera doing a game, it's probably better to wear their jersey. And if I have a team's jersey, I'm going to wear it. So, I would never buy a Montreal jersey, though, and I'll never wear an Ole Miss jersey. I hate those teams. To me, Vancouver is equal to Southern Miss. Redheaded stepchild. Who should not be where they are. Well, okay, for Vancouver, they should not be where they are. For Southern, well, they suck. So it doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter, but you know what I mean. Vancouver fans hate Toronto. We could give a fuck less. Vancouver fans hate Toronto. We don't give a fuck about them. Unless we're playing them. Again, they see us as rivals. We see them as redheaded stepchildren. Montreal's our rival. Hell, Columbus might be more of a rival than Vancouver Whitecaps. Okay, that might be... You know what? It depends on who you ask. I don't think either of them are rivals. But, you know... I mean, yeah, we'll hate them when we play them, you know? Like everybody else. We might take shots at them. We have our right. But I don't even really think of them. Tell you the truth. I don't think of Vancouver unless I'm watching them play. Or they're good. Which this is a rare thing. It's been a while since, well, they've never been good. In my lifetime. Until now. They weren't even good when Alphonso Davies was there. I mean, yeah, they made the playoffs, but they didn't do much in them. Oh, yeah. CONCACAF semifinal? Was it? Played Tigres, though. Either way. That's about all they did with him. Owen got a big payday for him. That's all they did for him. With that being said, no, it's Toronto and Montreal hate each other. Vancouver hates Toronto. We could give a crap less. We don't care. We don't see them as rivals. They have a what is it called? Chip on their shoulder? Yeah, we'll go with that. Chip on their shoulder. Which for now, I mean, talk your shit, you're winning, we're not. But you know, talk your shit, you're winning, we're not. But once they call the Pirate, we will be winning again. So enjoy your time right now. Enjoy your time of talking your shit right now before the Pirate is called. Whenever that may be. The quicker the better, but whenever that may be. Whenever that may be. I don't know anything, I'm just saying. No, that doesn't mean anything. I don't know anything, I'm just saying. 34th minute. Yeah, but how many MLS teams have won a domestic treble? Oh, yeah, only one. Toronto FC. Yeah, here's the problem with Toronto. There's only one person who can make that team win. And I didn't say Greg Vanney. That dude's a fraud. Vasco Fry. Shot goal! Oh, my God! Vancouver FC have... or it's Ba. Ba scores. Oh my God. It's 2-1. Ba scores the goal. What a run. Amazing ball played forward. Ba's right there. He just beats out the speed and rolls it past Bemer. 2-1. Vancouver FC for Ba. Mezquita with the assist, yes. Elijah Ba scores. Well, game on. I think it's straight to penalties if it's tied. That would be funny. 35th minute. 2-1. What a run. Perfect run, too. Mezquita with the assist, 2-1. That was a good goal, not going to lie, Elijah Ba. That was an amazing goal. Damn. Game on. Game on. And Vancouver Whitecaps are going to score instantly after that. But game on. Whitecaps are playing with their food there, paid the price. That's why you don't. What was I saying earlier? Don't take your foot off. They scored. And it's 3-1. Ali Ahmed let me see the replay, but Ali Ahmed seems to have gotten his second goal. But again, that's why you don't take your foot off the gas, but they put their foot right back on it. 3-1. Ball crossed in. Plays back. Ali Ahmed has it. Man, dude, Dada Luke has been, Jesus, man. Pocketed and boom. Ball poked away. Ahmed has it. Shot. Open net. Man. Ali Ahmed with his second of the night. Two minutes later, 37th minute. 3-1. Goal. 7-1. Don't you... Hey, if any Brazilians are in here, they're going to be very angry at you. Well, Ali Ahmed. Okay, no. I'm not going to let that happen. Tonight, maybe. He's a very solid player. Have you not watched him when he was at Pacific FC? I mean, yeah, Vancouver FC is an ass team, so I wouldn't make many observations from that. But if you watched him play with Pacific, especially when they won the CPL and went to CONCACAF League, dude, no, you're wrong. Maybe tonight, on one night, for sure. I'm not going to let you say that as a overarching theme, though. You're wrong. Free kick for the Whitecaps. I think he's a very good player. Free kick for the Whitecaps. I think he's a very good player. If you've watched the CPL, you know how good of a player he is. It's just a really bad night. And Irving almost had one of those moments as well where... Now, of course, the only game you've seen of those guys, yeah, they look like crap. I get it. It's probably the biggest game of their lives. Or one of the biggest games of their lives. Probably the one that's been the most watched, and they look like shit. Fair. I'm not going to... No. I watched the games nobody gave a shit about. Barely anybody gave a shit about. Ali Ahmed with a free kick. Shot wide. See, I watched the Pacific games that barely anybody gave a shit about. Those guys are good. Yeah, okay, yeah, he is having a bad game, though, but Solid player. I mean, Ali Ahmed's just that dude. What a CPL level. Well, it depends. Are you asking for Vancouver FC or Forge? I mean, it's kind of a range, you know. I mean, there's kind of a range there. You got to look at the level. Like Calvary and Forge are on a whole different level than Vancouver FC. I don't know where Supra is going to fall. We're going to find out about that next year. But there's a range. There's a range. And then you have loan players and you have to get game time and all that. It's hard to explain. Like, you got to look at the team as it is, not the whole. To be fair. But either way, let it go Ottawa as well. The thing about Atletico Ottawa is they've been good, but they've been bad. They're like up and down. Like Atletico Ottawa is a bipolar team, like historically year by year. Like 2021 or 21 was bad. 22, they made the final in 22, yeah? 22. 22, they were amazing. They were amazing this year. Other than that, from okay to shit. Like, they've had 2 really good years, and Forge still jumped above them, by the way. CPL final, of course, in 22, and then this year, Forge is above them as we speak. I'd still say Calvary. Like, Ottawa's probably better than Pacific at this point, and even York. And I like what York is doing. I like the project they have going on at York. But I like their project. But Atletico Ottawa is Calvary's still above them. Forge is definitely above them as a consistent, solid club. Ottawa, I know Pacific has a title and Ottawa doesn't, but at least final championship. I think Pacific only has that one shield. Player down. Pacific only has that one shield. Ottawa, or one North Star Shield, North Star Cup, the final championship. Ottawa has a Canadian Premier League Shield, top of the league trophy. I got to say Ottawa over Pacific at this point, though. Pacific's really fallen off, though, I got to say. What? No way. No way. There's no, you got to be kidding me. They would. Why would you? No. Free kick for Vancouver FC. No, there's no way. Why would you do that? It's not April Fool's Day. You're an asshole if this isn't true. Playing forward. Nope. Playing forward. I don't see anything about it. Did it just come out? Goal kick. Oh my. Oh my Lord, they're fraudulent. Did it actually? Where the hell are you? Nah, I gotta see this. I don't see anything. Playing forward, caught. 5-2 Dodgers. Luke Hughes signed with the Devils today. Rappaport said it's 7-2 Dodgers. Yeah, they're going to kick Cincinnati's ass. Speaking of, what's going on here? Still 0-0 between Toluca and LA Galaxy. Wait, what? Didn't expect that. Huh. 2 minutes of stoppage time. Nashville won the Open Cup. (3-1). Thomas Muller is a beast. He is. One more minute. Vancouver leading 3-1. (46-minute). Vancouver, pretty dominant. Did allow a goal against when they pulled off the frickin' gas pedal, but other than that, scored pretty much right after to take another 2-goal lead. Playing forward. Jesus Christ. Whitecaps jersey. Again, I have the jersey. I have no problem wearing a Whitecaps jersey because to me, they're redheaded stepchildren. I have no hate to the Vancouver Whitecaps unless Toronto's playing them. Or in CCL because I don't want them to win. Either way, Montreal's the rival. The only jersey I'll never wear is a CF Montreal jersey. Some call it's probably better for me to wear jerseys of teams who I have on stream when I'm doing their games if it ain't against Toronto. Hell, even during CCL when I want these jackasses to lose, I'll probably still wear the Whitecaps jersey when they're playing. Either way, it's called a jersey collection. It's called They're Not Montreal. Now, Vancouver fans on the one hand, they see Toronto as a rival. We see them as them having a chip on their shoulder and being redheaded stepchildren. There's a difference. It ain't a rivalry. It ain't a rivalry, not to me. CONCACAF Champions League, CONCACAF Champions Cup. I don't like calling it CCC. CONCACAF Champions, maybe. I will never buy a Montreal jersey. If somebody ever sends me a Montreal jersey and I see it on my stoop, I'm microwaving it and putting it on YouTube. If somebody sends me a CF Montreal jersey, it's going in the microwave and getting recorded and put on YouTube. Especially during, I may save it to a 4-1 Derby week. Is it a good idea to microwave this? That's what's going to happen to that. That's what's going to happen to that. Hell no. Hell no. Any amount of money. I ain't selling out for shit. I got it on FS2. TSN in Canada. Anywhere else, third-party website, I guess. I got FS2. FIFA likely to schedule matches featuring European nations after midnight UK time at the 2026 World Cup. Yeah, same thing happened during the Club World Cup. Yes. Not going to happen. You mean funny. It's not going to happen. I can tell you that right now. Did you not? Y'all really? That will never happen. I can tell you that right now. I'm very happy. Second of all, why do you think I'm bandwagoning the Steelers? That's not happening. I ain't got to worry. That is not happening. The Montreal fan thing. That is not happening. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Worst case scenario, as of now, if you're talking about in the future, which I don't think that's a problem, that would suck. But as of now, worst case scenario, Orlando City fan. As I said, I don't think I have to worry about that. Small world. Gareth Wheeler, the bootlicker. Gareth Wheeler, the bootlicker. With that being said, we'll take a short break at the half, talk about the stats, get this one going, sit tight. We'll be back. 3-1 at the half. Did I write down halftime? No, I did not. 3-1 at the half. We'll take a short break, talk about the stats, get this one going. 3-1, and we'll be back. Sit tight, be back. We're back for the stats of the half. Yeah, I saw. I'm surprised. With that being said, we are back. 74% possession, 26% possession, 13 shots to 2, 5 shots on goal to 1. We have 346. Apparently, that is 346. 93% pass accuracy to 99, passes 75% pass accuracy, 11 fouls to 4, 3 corners to 0, 13 shots to 2, 5 shots on goal to 1, 372 pass to 132, 93% pass accuracy to 75%. We got 4 throws to 3, 0 offside to 1, 0 yellow cards 2, 0 red cards 0, and that is 3-1 at the half. 3-1. Ciao. 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 Benefit. Gotta make sure I'm right. Welcome in Italian. Benvenuto. 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 Benvenuto, amici. Benvenuto. 5-1. 5-1 Vancouver Whitecaps. 5-1 Vancouver Whitecaps. Maybe 6. 5 or 6. 5 or 6. I don't see anything else happening there. 3-1. I say 5 or 6. Whitecaps should easily kick ass. Like, this shouldn't. I don't see Vancouver FC getting any closer. Good evening. How we doing, William? Vancouver Whitecaps are kicking Vancouver FC's ass. That's my opinion. I mean, they shouldn't have lifted off the gas pedal, but other than that, it's been easy. The game's, it's been easy. Like, there's been nothing that makes me think that the Whitecaps are going to truly blow this. Like, they should easily score 3 or 4 more goals. Probably won't allow another. I don't think they're going to let that happen. I think them letting off the gas, they knew it, but they didn't think they were going to get scored on, and they're probably going to be easily taking it and making this worse for Vancouver FC. It's an ass kicking. It's an ass kicking. Hey, at least you got one, though, you know? At least the underdogs got one. 2.04 expected goals for the Whitecaps, and they have 3 goals. I know penalties don't count in XG, but they're outperforming their own XG. Jesus Christ. That's called an ass kicking. That's called an ass kicking. You're welcome. Outperforming your XG like that. It's okay. It's okay. You're okay. If you have a VPN, use an incognito tab, go to foxsports.com and watch the game from there on the FS2 panel. It'll show the game, the team's logos as well. Other than that, at this point, with all the freaking third-party streaming sites going down, it's hard for me to tell you. But the game's on FS2, so if you have a VPN, set that to a USA VPN, open an incognito tab, or just watch it on a regular tab because there's only 1 hour left in the match. Free pass for an hour for the FS2 channel, foxsports.com. Hit the watch tab, gives you a free hour. If it goes any longer and this gets to penalties, then open up or just do it that way anyway. Because you get, as long as you open a new window, you get many. You get refreshed 1-hour trials without having to sign in. So that's why you do that. But you can watch any of the channels because it's not connected to a cable provider. Painsel's playing pretty good. Score. Well, okay. Listen to Sun. Comment above you. Go to what he's talking about. I've never tried that website, but if he's putting it over, I guess you could listen. Weymouth Wales beat Cavalier. Jesus Christ, Cavalier. Horrible year. Horrible year. Habs Sens fines will happen. Can't believe they're winning. Are you talking about the Whitecaps? They're supposed to be winning. You do realize the team that's supposed to be winning is winning, not the CPL side. You do realize that, right? You good? Yeah, because it's good for Defense Force. Forge versus Vancouver FC on Saturday on TSN. But, yeah, it looks like the Habs Sens game, there's going to be fines for the players from that game. Off the preseason game. There's a line brawls. They're going to fine AHLers because of a preseason game. Jesus Christ. I didn't say that. I was just saying they're playing because I saw it. By the way, wasn't it Saturday? I still have a prediction video to do on Friday if it was a Friday. And Saturday, well, TFC and the Jays. And the Jays. So, there you go. Yes. Playing forward. Ball crossed in. Cleared away. Whitecaps have it again. Ocampo. Shot saved. Nope. Hey, I'll do the CPL final, I think. I normally have done the CPL final, so we'll see what the timing of it is. I'll do the CPL final over MLS any day of the week and twice on Sunday. They took off Dotto Loop for Crawford. Oh. Then why do the line brawls? Okay, all right. So the coach is like, well, it was unnecessary. Then why did the line brawls happen? They disobeyed you? Is that what happened? So you're telling us all. You're telling us all that your team disobeyed you. Because it wasn't just one line brawl that maybe he got shocked about. There were two. I mean, that doesn't make Marty look good. That doesn't make him look good. Doesn't make him look good if he's like, it's unnecessary. No reason to do that, and they did it. Playing forward. So, Ottawa was being Bush League. Still about Marty St. Louis BKL. Does that mean they're going to qualify for next year? Whitecaps, yes. The winner of this game qualifies. Looks like the Whitecaps will be in no matter what. So, possible that a Canadian spot in the Leagues Cup opens up for a team who finishes above the other. Because there's no new expansion squad. Vancouver Whitecaps can't play Leagues Cup next year. In theory, you think they would replace Vancouver's spot with another Canadian team. You would think. Now that there's no expansion team, and San Diego is going to make the playoffs, and Leagues Cup, of course, is the top 18 teams, all the playoff teams, you would think that Vancouver will be replaced by a Canadian team, and that Canadian team would finish above the other. AKA, Toronto FC might just be in Leagues Cup next year if they want to be fair. Let me cope. We might have international football next year. Not the one I wanted, but we'll live with it. Not exactly what I wanted, but we'll live with it. You would think. Habs just stand up for our guys. Ottawa was being Bush League. Okay, fair enough. Playing forward. (3-1) 50th minute. Galaxy take the lead. What? 1-0 for Fagundes penalty. What is going on? What is with the Galaxy, though? Seriously. Why are they good against Mexican teams? What is it with this year? Well, except for the CONCACAF Champions Cup. Like, ever since Leagues Cup, they've been good against Mexican teams. I don't know what it is. The one team they lost to was an MLS team who beat their ass a couple of weeks before. And then they beat Orlando to get third place, but still. I mean, that's easy when the two teams in the final are both from British Columbia. And one's from actually Vancouver and one's from a suburb. It's pretty easy. 3-1. Looks like the proper Vancouver team is winning, though. AKA the redheaded stepchildren of Canadian football. Canadian soccer. Or you could just say somehow the best team in Canada, even though they are, so. Man, Toronto's. Man, they screwed up so bad. 51st minute. (51st minute). You want to restore order in the universe? Toronto has to be good. At least win can champs every year. We got to restore order in the universe. Call the Pirate. The order's whacked out in the universe. It's whacked out. Vancouver's won 4 straight can champs. The Whitecaps have won 4 straight can champs. The freaking order of the universe is whacked out. I'm not surprised. You want to make it worth their while? Come on, say the line. Playing forward. Playing forward. Shot by Sabi. Oh, just past the post. Well, I mean, they lost 4-0 like, 3 weeks ago or whatever the hell it was? I guess they would. Diego Fagundes gave Galaxy the lead 5 minutes away from halftime of the Campeones Cup. I saw their starting 11, BKL. I saw it. I would personally, I would say give him some time, but I mean, he's done well everywhere else. Like, he should do well here if you actually gave people around him to pass to. if you gave him more to work with, instead of Derek Etienne Jr. and Ulla Brynhildsen, he still, got 4 assists and 1 goal on a lost season, trying to see what works best at the end of it. Fair enough. You know what? Like, he was the MVP candidate with Montreal. He was strong with Colorado. Like, he can't be this bad. Like, if he's bad, it's got to be our luck, frankly. It's got to be our shit luck. The dude's already got 4 assists. Was it the wrong time to get him? Maybe. I could agree with that in the macro. Was it the wrong time to get him? Was it the wrong time to sign Mihailovic? Yes. Is he a good player? Yes. Will he be more his MVP self next year? I believe it. I believe it. It was wrong to sign him, fair, but I'll give you that one. It was the wrong time to sign him. Do I think he's bad, though? No. And if he's shit, it's probably our luck more than anything else. Our luck being shit than anything else. So, I believe in him. Talking about a grand final. I mean, I'm sure Ford would play better, but they aren't here. And I'm sure they beat the shit out of Vancouver FC themselves. But again, they're not here. Not here. I'm just surprised. I'm just surprised that they're winning against Toluca. Toluca's the best team in CONCACAF right now. And the Galaxy, one of the worst. Because let's be real, Greg Vanney's a fraud who got carried by Seba Javenko, who got carried by Alejandro Pozuelo, and got carried by Ricky Puig. Without Ricky Puig, they're beating Toluca. And you could say, well, what about Josie? What about Oso? What about... I didn't say those Toronto teams had a bad supporting cast, but there was a guy who stirred the drink. And it wasn't Greg Vanney. The guy who stirred the drink was Seba Javenko. Seba was the crown jewel. Vanney is a fraud. Vanney's a fraud. Seba was the crown jewel that carried his ass to trophies with a very solid team around him. Yes, there were good pieces around Seba, and they played their best in 2017 and early 2018. And even when Pozuelo came in 2019. But Vanney 2014 was solid, but it is Vanney's worst season. But the reason why 2018 wasn't so bad as 2025 is for the Galaxy is Seba wasn't the one that got hurt. Everybody else did. Ricky Puig got hurt this year, and it went to shit because they lost like 3 of their other strong players. And they didn't really replace. And Dye coming on for Campbell. So 2025 was worse than 2018 for Vanney, but Vanney's a fraud. He got carried by Seba Pozuelo and Ricky Puig. He's a fraud. He's a fraud. I'm sure Galaxy will be better next year because Ricky Puig will be healthy with those players back around him. I'm sure they'll be better, if not a playoff team, I'm sure. But it ain't going to be because of Greg Vanney. Let's cut that shit. Let's cut that shit. He's a fraud. At least for his sake, he could be the guy, at least for now, being like, well, I was the only one to win Toronto a trophy. They were shit before me and shit after me. Personally, I want Vanney to end up being the damn Matt Busby of Toronto FC. That's not bad. You ain't Sir Alex, but you ain't everybody else. It's not bad to be Matt Busby. I'm not saying Matt Busby was a fraud, but you get what I'm saying. Man United's only 2 coaches worth a damn. Matt Busby and Sir Alex. I didn't say Matt Busby was a fraud. He's just the only other coach that Man United actually had that was good and actually had success. That's the joke. That's the joke. Gabriel Peck's good, but he ain't Ricky Puig. Well, I mean, he has a guy just like Seba and Puig, right? in Messi, he would do just fine. He might actually win with them, weirdly enough. Weirdly enough, he might actually win with Miami because he has the guy to carry his ass. I mean, I have called Pozuelo Aldi Messi before. I have done that. I guess Seba's just as good because if you remember, Seba was training with TFC to set them up for Messi, playing Messi. So, turns out maybe both of them are. And I guess Ricky Puig is too. He might actually win, fairly enough. I'm not the one who watched Cobra Kai. That'd be my dad. I can't tell you. My dad watched Cobra Kai. I haven't. I watched The Karate Kid, the original one, with Ralph Macchio. I haven't watched Cobra Kai, though. Awesome series. By the end of MLS Cup, by like the day after MLS Cup, they should be exercised by mid-October after decision day, but technically, at least to publicize them, they have until the day after MLS Cup like everybody else. But I'm sure the decisions will be made earlier. Sometimes they write the rules like 5 days after your season is over, and sometimes they write the rules 5 days after MLS Cup or whatever. Something like that. I would guess they'll be announced by MLS Cup, but it depends on how they want to announce them. I'd just announce them instantly if it was me, but, if it was me, I'd just announce them instantly. 60th minute. Player down hurt for Vancouver FC, 3-1. Yoshi Yamamoto went 6 2/3, huh? Hmm. 3-1, that was the goal from earlier. 60-30, player down. I have no idea. No idea. Should Toronto FC utilize Lazar Stefanovic? Yes. I think he's a very talented center back. I think he's shown a lot of high-quality play from the times he has played. He's young, but he's got a good head on his shoulders. I think he's got a good ceiling. He's already very talented. He's got a good ceiling to reach. Kid's talented. Kid's talented. I don't understand why now that he's on the roster and he's healthy, why he doesn't play that much, why they don't let him play that much. I think he's better than Rosted at this point. I think he's better than Long, to be real. Put him with Monlouis once Monlouis gets back. That would be such a good pairing, in my opinion. I would love that pairing as a center back pairing. Monlouis and Stefanovic would be amazing. It would be. I think he's a solid player. I think they should utilize him more. I like the way he plays. He has a very good head on his shoulders, especially for such a young player. And every time he's played, he's looked very quality. Like, I can't complain. He should play more than he already has. He should have been already in the starting 11, if not a regular contributor. And I'm not too keen on shutting him out personally. He's very talented. He can play. Kid can play. Kid can play. It's my opinion. Kid can play. What about Gomis then? Gomis on the opposite side of Richie. Personally, my main back four is get rid of Petretta. Gomis can play on the outside as well. He can do that. So do it. Stefanovic, Monlouis, Richie. That's the way I would do it. Because Gomis can play on the outside as well. Playing forward. If you need him to drop in, he could drop in. If you want him to go out, he could go out. He could do both. So also with the rotation, also sometimes I'd like Coelho to drop in, especially if we need somebody to be more pushing the ball forward. I definitely like positional rotation and players who can play multiple positions and feel comfortable. Gomis can play on the outside and center back. He could drop in if need be. If somebody pushes up, he could drop in once Coelho tries to push up after the ball gets pushed forward. Cifuentes playing a midfield destroyer while Coelho roams around from the 6 to the center back area. Larea being mostly an outside back that can bomb forward, of course. I love a lot of action. I love the players actually working and just running. Like never stopping. Like keep pushing, keep going. No walking, no standing. Back up your man, back up a guy who's got a man. Rush for the ball, get the ball back, go down the other way. So if you could play, if you could have Gomis play on the outside and also drop in when need be, basically do the opposite of a wing back, sort of drop in if need be, that works for me. I think that's the way you go, at least for a starting back four. Now, it would suck when he can't play or you have to rotate. You don't have that. Or if you rotate, you throw in the center back and then put in Cozy or Kobe. But some of that. Or Nathaniel Edwards. Do we still have him? I think we still have him. Either way, I don't want to play Malik Henry at outside back. I'm not that dumb. I don't know what Robin Fraser's big affection of playing Malik Henry at outside back is. I don't know. No. Dude's a midfielder forward. He is not a defensive or I should say a wing back or an outside back. That dude's a midfielder. That dude's more offensive minded and has the speed to be that way. So why are you playing him at outside back? Seriously, what the hell is that? Maybe Champ, you do it. Especially if you want to pump a team 7-0 when you should. But either way, no. Yeah, Jim Curtin don't want to coach anywhere, though. He said it was family reasons he wouldn't go to New England, so. From Mississippi, my family is. My dad spent a lot of time in Starkville growing up, so he chose state. I chose state. Never went to state, though. Maybe my kids will go to state one day. Future. But other than that. Hail State, go to hell Ole Miss, and we don't really. Southern's like Vancouver, redheaded stepchildren. We don't care about you unless you're playing a bowl game or you're playing us. I mean, I like seeing Southern win bowl games. I have no problem with them doing that. Glad we beat Southern, though. That would have sucked. Wouldn't it be weird if we, like, went to the Gasparilla Bowl or something and played them again? Over 6 goals? Not yet. I don't think that'll happen. Yeah, he's a solid player. Solid. Muller in MLS is kind of sad. We got Cold Hero Man like Jamie Vardy still in Europe drinking Red Bull in Italy. I don't think Vardy wants to come to MLS, and frankly, if he comes to MLS, it makes Toronto look bad because we didn't go for him at striker. If he comes to Toronto, we'll be shit. So we can't win. I want him to stay in Europe playing at Cremonense or whatever because no. Either Toronto doesn't get him and people who don't really know ball or we don't have a good striker will be like, we could have got Jamie Vardy. And then if we got him, they'd be like, oh, well, he's shit. Yeah, our luck, right? We don't get him. He plays well, and we have a shit striker, and we suck. We get him. He's shit, and then somebody else ends up being a good striker. We don't win either way. You don't think it will happen? No. It's only 4. I don't think there'll be 2 more goals. I think Vancouver's just want this to play. Both Vancouvers want this to play out. I think Vancouver Whitecaps are happy with a win where it is, and Vancouver FC is like, they ain't coming back. So maybe if it's 4-2, I don't see Vancouver Whitecaps scoring 2 with the way they're acting. Maybe they score 1 and Vancouver FC scores another. We get 6 that way, but I think they're both comfortable where they are. They say Patrick Ajimong is the American Jamie Vardy. Oh, no. I like Patrick, but no. No. I mean, even the way he plays, though. No. Patrick Ajimong is not Jamie Vardy. No. He's solid. I mean, I like Patrick Ajimong. I think he's an amazing player. Maybe not as good as at national team level, but I think he's a good player. Jamie Vardy, though? Like, similar to Jamie Vardy? No. His rise, okay, maybe his career arc-ish is similar, but I'm talking about the way he plays. Like, the rise he's had, fair enough. I could kind of see that, but the way he plays, no. His mentality, not exactly. I think he's a very professional player, very humble player, and he doesn't really play like Jamie Vardy. He plays more of like Josie, or like a Josie Altidore, or big, tough striker, physical, power forward type of striker. That ain't Jamie Vardy. Jamie Vardy is, I mean, he's physical, but you wouldn't say like, dude's kind of a, how do I put this? Fights from underneath, underdog, like still physical, but dude's kind of wily. I wouldn't say Ajimong is wily. Like, dude knows he has the body type, the muscle, the level to body you off the ball and be a power forward. I think kind of like Josie at his peak. Or Zlatan. There we go. Zlatan. There we go. Like a Zlatan. Josie. Who else could I? Peter Crouch never was, no. Cantona? Yeah, we'll go with Cantona. Like, yeah, Watchalong is more of a Josie Ibrahimovic, Cantona type of striker, in my opinion. Like, yeah, his rise is like Vardy's, but he's more. Fair enough, but I was talking about the style of play. But like his rise up to this point is very similar, understandable. Still not complete, but understandable. But I didn't think you were disrespecting Vardy. I was comparing. I was looking more at the play style than his rise. I didn't think you were disrespecting Vardy either. And just because you're comparing somebody's play style doesn't mean you're disrespecting them. I mean, do you see how they compare NFL players in the draft? They're saying like, oh, this guy plays like X, Y, and Z. They ain't done shit yet. Like, those college players ain't done shit yet. In theory, if somebody gets compared to Tom Brady, you'd be like, why are you comparing him to Tom Brady if he ain't done shit yet? I think that's kind of part of sport, is you're going to compare a player to somebody who's come in the past, played in the past in that sport, looking at the way they play. You're going to do that. You're going to make those comps. I don't see those as disrespectful. I don't. But, Ryan Gould is coming on. And Bemer is down, 74th minute. But again, I don't see comps like that, even if they're wrong, per se. I don't see comps like that as disrespectful. Like, you could compare Brock Purdy to Tom Brady. Even I do. That's why I want Brock Purdy to lose. There's two reasons why I cheered for the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl when it was 49ers Chiefs in Vegas. One, because I didn't separate Taylor and Travis Kelce from the Chiefs that year. And second of all, I don't need people saying, oh, Brock Purdy's Tom Brady 2.0. I don't want to hear that shit. Dude is Mr. Irrelevant. And he had a rise similar to Tom. And if I'm more afraid of Brock Purdy becoming the new GOAT. I'm more afraid of him being the GOAT because he's exactly like Tom. Low draft pick, nobody expected to be a starter, is a starter, plays a similar offense for the 49ers. If he wins like 4 or 5 Super Bowls, I don't want to hear it. Patrick Mahomes already got his ass kicked twice by Tom Brady. Like, I thought Patrick Mahomes' GOAT case was dead after Super Bowl 55. Because head-to-head, Tom Brady belt-to-assed him twice in the playoff. AFC title game, Super Bowl 55. That ends it right there. I don't care how many rings you win. I don't care. Don't care. If the guy who you're chasing for GOAT belts-to-asses you twice and never loses to you in the playoffs, partially because of his longevity, you don't deserve to be the GOAT over him. And then when Jalen Hurts went belt to ass on Patrick Mahomes last year, that totally killed it. There's no chance Patrick Mahomes will be the GOAT over Tom Brady. Because Brady owned his ass twice. Jalen Hurts owned his ass. If you didn't agree after Brady owned his ass twice, now you do. You can't have 2 blowouts in the Super Bowl. Even Brady lost 2 Super Bowls, but they weren't blowouts. They were stolen by Eli Manning. There's a difference. Oh, by the way, 7 rings. Should have been 9. Either way. No, actually, no, 10. You could argue that every Super Bowl Brady lost, he should have won. You can't argue Patrick Mahomes could have won 55 or last year, 59. You can't. You can't argue that. Can't argue it. You can't. but that's just my opinion. Like, the part of sports, let me get off that tangent. Part of sports is to compare players to people who've played before. Like, that's part of sports. You're going to have that. I don't see that as, it may be a horrible comparison, but I don't see it. It may end up being a horrible comparison, but I don't see it as a insult to comparison somebody. Ryan Gould coming on for Mueller. Jaden Nelson coming on as well. I mean, I respect Peyton Manning. See, I respect Peyton Manning. I hated him when he played, but I respect him. And I miss seeing him play against Tom Brady. I miss seeing them both play. I do not respect Eli. He's better on TV than actually being a quarterback. And he's still second fiddle to his brother. Oh, by the way, guess where Eli played his college football? Just to add on to it. Just guess where he played. Where did he play his college football? We don't respect the enemy over here, yes. More goals? I don't think so. We don't respect the Rebs over here. Go to hell, Ole Miss. We don't respect the Rebs over here. Wouldn't you know it? Somebody played for Ole Miss, tormented Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. What do you know? Well, at least 2 out of 3 times. Foles, I don't even know where he went to college. Where did Foles go to college? What's it with mean quarterbacks and Tom Brady? I don't get it. Now I got to find out. Hold on. He went to Arizona. Well, actually, Liberty, Arizona, and Michigan State. Okay, the Michigan State part makes sense, too. Yeah, Peyton went to Tennessee. 80th minute. I have no problem with Tennessee, even though we lost to them. I have no problem with Tennessee. Knoxville's awesome, too. Well, Cedar Bowl and Knoxville are beautiful, too. I'll say that as much. I think Tennessee, Knoxville, Cedar Bowl, they're beautiful places. So, but I have no problem with Tennessee. I have no problem. Playing forward is the Whitecaps. 81st minute. Playing forward. Spins around and doesn't move. Berhalter. 9 minutes plus stoppage time. Speaking of, it is still 1-0. The second half has just started for LA Galaxy versus Toluca. Playing forward. Cross in. But, yeah. Playing forward. 3-1 for the Whitecaps. You know what? Ichiro playing in the Mariners scrimmage today. That's awesome to see. Ichiro doesn't look a day over, 30? Ichiro, it's awesome to see him play there. That's cool. That's cool. Playing forward. Playing forward. Shot, goal, 4-1. 4-1 for the Whitecaps. Ryan Gould, you just knew he had to score. His first game of the season. Yeah, I don't think he's played at all this year. Goal. 4-1. You knew he had to score. Put a bow on it. First goal for Vancouver this year for Ryan Gould. His first game and first couple of minutes. Boom. Back to the penalty spot. Nelson played it on to him at the penalty spot, and then boom. Perfect shot, man. That was amazing. 4-1. You just knew he had to score. You knew he was. When you heard he was going to play and then he came on, you knew he was going to score. Easy. Ryan Gould gets his goal, 4-1. That is the 83rd minute. What a play. I mean, I really don't care about it. I'll probably watch it, but I don't care about it. Goal! Vancouver FC makes it 4-2. Mesquita with the shot. Not that it matters, but he popped one in as well. That is 6 goals. Who said this was going to be a 6-goal game? What you called it? What a shot. Mesquita takes the shot. One-timer. Ball with the assist. Mesquita with a shot. Mesquita assisted Ball. Ball assists Mesquita. Far post. What a shot. 6-goal game. 4-2. 4-2. Bovalina and Priso coming on for Vancouver FC. Or Vancouver Whitecaps. 85th minute for Mesquita. 4-2. You were right. I guess it will finish 4-2. Well, I mean, there's still 5 minutes left plus stoppage time. There may be another goal. Four to 2, 86th minute. Wow, what a... If they win the CONCACAF Champions Cup, if Vancouver wins the CONCACAF Champions Cup, I will cry. Why would I cry now? Toronto's been out of this tournament since April. Why would I cry now? I'm fine. I don't think there's much that can make me cry. Now, if the Blue Jays win the World Series, I might cry tears of joy on camera. I don't know if that's what you want, though. Save. I don't know if you want me to cry tears of joy or cry tears of sadness. Does either work for you? Because if I'm on live when the Blue Jays win the World Series, you'll at least get tears of joy. All you got to do is wait a month. I don't think I could help it. So either way, if you want tears of sadness, I'm not streaming it. I'm just watching it. Like, I'm not going to cover it, but I'll watch it. But I will cry. Just not on camera. 87th minute in that case. '87th minute. Mesquita's off for NU. 88th minute. So we got Mount Pleasant versus Defense Force, Sabal versus O&M. Okay. Leg 1, October 22nd, 23rd, 29, 30. All right. Final. They don't say that yet. 88th minute. 4-2. Real España Alajuelense on to the semifinals of the Central American Cup. Olimpia, Cartagenes, Sporting, Xelajú play tomorrow to get 2 more spots, which will cover both those games. I don't think it will be Batista. I think he's completely retired. Edge, his contract with AEW is over, I think, by then. Maybe it will be Edge. I don't know. It's possible. They say surprise. Would it have to be Edge? (1-1). Toluca ties the game. Corner for the Whitecaps. 89th minute. Toluca tied the game versus LA Galaxy. 1-1. 1-1. Castro scored the goal. And it's tied in LA. In Carson. More fitting Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle's not going to come back for one match. The dude could barely wrestle when Baron Corbin retired him. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Kurt said that he probably can't wrestle in general anymore. So I don't think it's Kurt either. If it's going to be somebody Cena, you thought Cena wouldn't fight, it's got to be Edge. It has to be. It has to be. I don't see it being Kurt. I don't see it being Batista. 30 seconds to go. No. I mean, if he debuted in OVW in 2000, his WWE debut, no. His wrestling debut, OVW debut or wrestling debut, maybe. 4 minutes of stoppage time. WWE debut, no. Actually, no, he started training wrestling in 98. Won his first championship in 2000. Ohio Valley Wrestling, he got there in 2000, so depends on where you want to put it. But Toluca tied it. I hope he does. I would be good with that. I would love to see John win the title back. If there's one person who shouldn't go out on their back, it's John Cena. Now, knowing John, he would still go out on his back, but, you know, knowing John, he'd still go out on his back, but as is tradition, but hell no, please don't. John Cena's the one guy who shouldn't go out on his back. But Hogan did. Ric Flair did. I'm surprised they didn't, to be real. Especially Rick. And who said Rick's out of it anyway? He might wrestle again. I'm surprised. Like, I'm surprised, like, Ric Flair, like, why hasn't, he might still wrestle, so can you really say he's done? He might. But as far as we know, yeah, he's gone out on his back. Hogan did. But you would think, I'm surprised with how much of a mark Ric Flair is for himself. He did not go out on his back. Hogan the same. Cena, it's funny. Cena wants to go out on his back, take the pin. He shouldn't. The guys you think would put themselves over on their final match, didn't do it, but honestly shouldn't have, but didn't. I still say edge. I'm pissed it was a 2-2 draw, but sounding with a red card, maybe that makes more sense. Kind of makes more sense. There was a red card, that kind of makes more sense. So we'll hold that where it is. 93rd minute, 1 minute to go. Vancouver Whitecaps look to be winning the Canadian Championship. "30 seconds. Playing forward. "94th minute. Free kick. Playing forward. And it's full time. Vancouver's won 4 in a row with a 4-2 win. Vancouver, the Canadian championships for the Canadian champs for the 4th straight year. 4-2. Vancouver FC put up a fight, but it just wasn't meant to be for the Vancouver Langley FC. With that being said, if you like this stream, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once subscribed. Send chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. Put this in playlists. Share us with your friends and family. All that great stuff. I will see you within the hour for the review of this match. And tomorrow I'll be live for Sporting San Miguelito versus Xelajú. And live in review for Cartagenas versus Olympia. Or CD Olympia versus Cartagenas. 2 lives, 1 review tomorrow. We'll be back. And see you tomorrow. Congratulations. I don't even think they're going to show the trophy lift on Fox. So they never have. So I can't even if I wanted to. With that being said, congratulations to Vancouver Whitecaps. Commiserations to Vancouver FC. I'll see you later. I'm Ryan and I'm out. Peace. See ya.